Okay, we're back. So thanks for joining my Facebook Live. I had a little glitch there with my starting on the last a minute ago there, so sorry about that. Hopefully I can get you all back to join me. So I created a painting for a charity function last week, and the live feed was going during the event, and I have never done that before. And it was kind of off to the side, the camera. I didn't want to block the view of the people who were attending the event with this camera in between us. So the painting that night sold for $32,000, which increased my $1 million goal to raise $1 million for charity, and it went higher than my goal is past $1 million now. So that's amazing. Very grateful. But I thought what I would do for this video is make that same painting again, and you can actually see the process because it was off to the side. You couldn't quite see the painting as much. It was more like the point of that video was like the interaction with the people coming up to talk to me while I was painting, and people were kind of getting a little upset with me that they couldn't see the actual painting. So I'm going to recreate it today for you, and hopefully you enjoy watching this painting video. So I always start with a base layer. If you've never watched me paint before, I typically do start the painting with underpainting, they call it. This is the essence of the painting. I like to cover that big white space up, and it warms up. It just warms up the process. It gets you going. It gives you some nice base color to work from. I like yellow most of the time, but I'm actually going to do this two-tone underpainting. So if you're watching, I'd love to hear where you're watching from, around the world, what country, what city. I'm broadcasting from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And the painting is a 3-foot by 5-foot piece. And a lot of people say, why the heck do you paint the base coat and then cover it up? But what you can't really see in the video is when I do the actual painting part with the sky and the grass and the flowers and everything, you don't see the little bits of that yellow, little bits of that pink popping through the painting as I use my knife for the next layer. Actually, I want to bring that yellow down a little bit. So this painting will take about an hour and a half. So if you're in a hurry, this is not the fast video, but you can pop in and out and check back with me in a little while. And if you're getting bored and you want to see, you can also fast forward later on. So once I go off this video offline, it'll be up on my stream here for 30 days. Otherwise, you can watch all of my videos on my YouTube channel. You just type in my name on Google and in YouTube, and it comes right up. So I just wanted to bring that yellow down a bit more, and now we'll do the pink. So this is the wash layer. I'm just spraying with some water with my acrylic paints. Spreads the color around nicely. This is like a thin wash layer. If you have any questions, love to hear your comments and questions. I will answer most of your questions and comments after I've logged off the video, because you're mostly here to watch the painting, not to hear me talk. And hopefully the mic's picking up, because I tried to go online about a minute ago and I forgot about my microphone. So we restarted. But maybe you want to tag a friend and have them watch along with you. That's always fun. I can see some of you are starting to say where you're watching from, which is really fun. If you've never seen my paintings here before, I'd love if you followed my page and commented and liked it, shared it with a friend. All of this helps us creatives out. Kind of giving you an invitation into our studios. Okay, so just kind of blend that a little bit. But this is the underpainting, so it's messy. It's an important step for me in my painting process. It's not necessary. It's just part of my process. So this is a 2-inch flat brush. So give that a second to kind of seep into the canvas. I'm just gonna wave some paper around to get it to dry. Even with acrylics, it could dry quicker for me. But acrylics dry very fast. So if you are a slow painter and you want a lot of open time with your paint, acrylics are not your jam. You want to work probably with oil. But I like to work quick. I kind of explain painting for me is like having a conversation with a friend. It's not necessarily quick isn't the goal. It's just that I paint with intention, and this is what we're doing during this painting session. And I try to complete a painting in one session. I'm just going to close this drawer. My cat's digging in the drawer for his catnip. Anyway, you might see a couple cats walking by. Now we're going to move to our palette knife. This is a 2-inch silicone palette knife. I do sell them. I will put the link in the comments after I go offline. On my website, I sell them. If you click on my website and then tools I use, there's my palette knife on there. There's my painting palette as well. So this is, so I've opened up my tray and all this paint was already here. Ta-da! And I can reuse this palette for however long until it starts to be like, okay, it's any day now. I should probably switch out this whole tray, painting tray. But I know you want to go outside. Oh, my cat's talking to me. He wants to go outside. Come here, Hopper. Come here. Come and say hi to everybody. This is Hopper. He is very vocal, and he likes to go outside. You want to say hi? I'm just going to let my cat out because he's meowing. Okay. Out you go. You want to go out, Ellie? Go. Okay, sorry about that. It'll be a little less distracting. Okay, cats are outside. They're happy. Now, I want to start with the sunshine part of the sky. So I'm going to have a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. And now from here on in, I basically use my knife. So here we go. Up in here will be the sunshine. So I don't really wait till stuff dries. I kind of gave it a second. Literally a second. I like the wispy sky look, so that's what this one's going to have, this wispy sky. Recreating that previous piece. Okay, some paint got in there. That's okay. Now we'll get some blue and white to get that blue sky going. And this is just crisscrosses. You can hear the bounce of the canvas. But crisscross technique. Kind of like it when the underpainting kind of pulls into the next layer. And I'll be reloading this paint periodically. And a lot of paint goes on this layer. And I just work the paint until I'm happy with the sky layer. Okay, I already need to reload my white. So I'm going to take a smaller knife. These are just plastic tools that are really great to collect with this edge on it. And we'll load our white. So feel free to come in and out of this video. You can fast forward, rewind, I believe, after it's completed, if you watch this like an hour or two or a day later. Love to hear what you think of the painting. If you have questions about anything, please comment below. But painting for me, I paint every day. And I paint because I love it. Pretty simple. Pretty simple why I do what I do. I'm really grateful that my art has raised now over $1 million for charity. It's pretty exciting. That painting I did last week went for $32,000 for a great cause, the Saffron Center. Very generous people were at the event bidding on my art. And I did not expect that to happen that night. So that was pretty cool. So now someone said, what's next? I was like, well, I guess we'll just keep going. Keep trying to raise more money for charity. So this is the sky layer. I've got the sun starting over there. And I just work this paint into the sky. This takes a little bit of time. This is the hardest part on my arm. So yeah, if you're curious about watching more videos, they're all collected on my YouTube channel. I've been doing a better job of making sure they end up there, because these ones on Facebook only last 30 days and then they're taken down. I guess just they're cracking down on storage of videos online, I guess. And when I recreate a painting that already exists, it's really nice to have the original physically here in the studio with me. I can still work from an image on iPad, but it's a lot easier when it's right here. I'm not super careful of how paint slings in the air while I'm painting, but you don't want to have to think about how messy you might be when you're working with paint. You just want to be able to focus on the painting and not about the mess factor. So getting a drop sheet in a space where you can make a mess and having it set up all the time, I recommend if you're an artist and you're looking to, how do I paint more? How do I motivate myself to get more painting done, spend more time in the studio? One of the ways I found is having a space always set up and ready to go. Even if it's a corner of a room, it doesn't have to be a giant gallery studio, but if it's always set up and ready to go, your paints are there, your water's there, your brushes are all laid out, you got everything, you got your drop sheet, your easel, your canvas, you will paint more if you don't have to set that up every single time. Try it. See if that motivates you. And it's with anything, like if you always have to kind of start from scratch always, it's kind of harder to get after it. Okay, we need more white again. Reloading the white. So it's fall, and it's getting chilly out there. But our beautiful trees with the orange, yellow fall leaves are so beautiful. I live in a forest, basically, and it's so pretty right now with the bright blue sky and the orange leaves. So pretty. I love fall. It's sweater weather. And it's too bad that these videos only record in the language I'm speaking. They don't translate to other languages, but I feel like art can transcend all languages, and just visually watching a painting being made is pretty cool, and you don't necessarily have to understand what I'm saying. So I'm just reloading my white and my blue. And people ask me, what kind of blue should I use? What color, blah, blah, blah. What color should I use for the grass? And honestly, when you go shopping for color, pick what makes you happy, pick what you're drawn to, and use that blue, use that green, use that yellow. And work with it for a bit, and then switch it up. Have a variety of reds, have a variety of oranges, but you don't have to, you know, there's rules, but also rules in art is kind of silly, I think, when you're creating. Make up your own rules. So I'm going to bring in some more yellow here. I just want to blend this a bit more, pull it out, drag it out. It's like this yellow orb more than it is. It's the sun, but it's like the warmth of the sun that I'm trying to create. I'm not going to do like a circle and then beams coming out. The sunlight is kind of popping through the clouds. More impressionistic, less literal, less realistic. So we're almost done this sky layer. I'm just going to do a little more blending of things that feel a little too uniform. Maybe I see too harder lines. When you stand back and look at your creation, you get some perspective. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to go over here, do this edge. So I do all the edges, top, bottom, both sides. Some of my collectors do frame my work, but most, I would say, don't. The painting kind of frames itself. So thanks for tuning in. Fun to share the process of how I make a painting. It looks like this. I've painted live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of events. It might be upwards to 1,000 different times I've painted live. And it's different than painting in the studio, but it's kind of similar to painting live here online. The talking part changes it a little bit, because when I'm just alone in the studio, I don't, I'm not talking to anyone, right? So it's a little bit different because you're flipping in and out of your left and right brain. with words. So I'm painting with a golden acrylics, a couple other different brands too, but that's my favorite brand. I like acrylics. I like how fast they dry. I don't have the patience for oils, and the smell bothers me. Just blending in some of the sharper edges that I notice. Wow, people watching from all over. So fun. Okay, so that feels good. I'm going to do that top edge off camera, but just kind of smoothing out some of those little edges. And now I'm going to move into the grass. So right into my knife with the grass. With this yummy green color. And I'm not going to cover up all of the pink. You're going to see some of it. You can see some of the yellow background up in there. So back to, this is not an instructional video. I talk through a painting, but that's about it. I'm not a teacher. People tell me they do learn things from watching the videos, which is great. But I tell people, find your style, find your way of making. You know, this is going to be a wildflower, field of wildflowers. Paint your version of a photograph. That's the way, that's basically the way to find your style. Work from a real life photograph and paint your version of it. So I've got some taller flowers that are going to be up in there. They're not all the same height, right? I'm using the wide edge, the narrow edge, long strokes, short strokes. I'm going to do this side. I'm still here. I'm just doing the edge. And the more you paint, the more you get out of it. So if you're painting every day, you will find your style quicker. If you paint once a month, it's going to take longer. And it took years. It took years for me to find what my voice looks like on canvas. And that's what you really want. That's what every artist wants to achieve. Find your voice on canvas. What does that look like? So if you're at a painting class, I recommend if you go take a class and the instructor's like, I'm going to make this painting and follow along and paint the same thing. I'm not a big fan of that. I think you find your style. Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just there to just paint for fun, great. But if you're trying to find what your voice looks like on canvas, go to a class where they're going to pull out a photograph, or you have a photograph of your own, paint your version of the photograph. And then everybody's version of that photo, they're all doing the same, painting from the same reference photo, it's going to look different. And it should look different. If everybody's painting the same thing all the time, I don't know. How do you find your style that way? That's just my opinion. Okay, so it's a 3 foot by 5 foot, if anyone's asking. Someone earlier was asking that. 3 foot by 5 foot piece. Lots of texture. Different lengths of strokes. They're going different directions, nothing straight up and down. And use those drying goops of paint into your canvas if you want. That one's a little bit too thick. Fell right off. So if you're just tuning in, thanks for joining me. I made a painting online on a live feed I did last week at a charity function. I've never live feeded at a charity event before, and it was really cool because that is a night my art officially has raised over $1 million for charity, which is pretty cool. The painting sold for $32,000 that night. And so here I am making another piece just like it, so you can actually see the painting, because the camera was off to the side and you couldn't really see the painting that well. It was more about looking at, watching and observing how people come and interact with me while I'm live painting at an event. You couldn't see the painting that well. It was more side version, side view. So I thought, why don't I do another one where you can see the painting this time. So I'm kind of cutting into the sky with my knife. It's still wet, and it's creating these, it's revealing some of that yellow. So that's what you can do when you work wet on wet. You have to work quick if you're going to do wet on wet with acrylics. And a painting this size roughly takes an hour, hour and a half to complete. And if you have questions, pop them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer most of them after we've gone offline. And this video stays up for 30 days on Facebook. And then after that, starting today, I will put it on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the comments afterwards, and you can watch my videos there. Fun, right? Okay, reloading some of the green. This is just a bit of medium that I like to add to some of my colors. Tones down the color a bit. It makes your paint go further. Does a few different things. There's all kinds of mediums that you can add to acrylics. Find the recipe that suits you best. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Don't even know if this is still, oh yeah, the green light's still on. Green light. Got a green light. Now my easel's doing funny things lately. It's kind of crooked at times, so I think there's some paint caked onto some of the hardware, so it's making my canvases a little crooked. Now, I could never do a carbon copy of an existing painting. And you shouldn't have to worry about that, right? Every piece you create should be unique in its own piece. It's a sister piece to the one I did that night at the event. And if you've been at an event and you've bid on my work to raise money for charity, thank you for doing that. Thanks for being generous and helping this artist reach her goal of $1 million raised for charity. Do some of this darker green in here. Just not a ton of it, but I just want to create a little contrasting. And it doesn't take that long. Like once you get started, honestly, the hardest part with painting, the hardest part is starting. If you saw the little blip that I had when I first started this video, I think I deleted it because it was like, oh shoot, I didn't have the camera or the microphone lapel mic on. Forgot about that. Otherwise, it's pretty echoey in here. But the hardest part is starting. I think that's with lots of things in life. But once you get going, you find your flow, it doesn't take that long. I mean, some of us paint faster or slower than others. But the goal of these videos is maybe you're at work and you just want something on in the background, like you would have a podcast or something while you're typing away at something, or you work outside and it's just supposed to be relaxing and enjoyable. There's lots of movement, playfulness, that's what it's all about. I don't seek perfection in art and creating. I paint for the enjoyment and fulfillment of making and creating. That feels pretty good. I really like this sort of like yellow transition. The light, it's like the sunlight's coming through. Like that's, yeah, it just feels nice and warm. Love it, love it, love it. So the fun part now is the flowers. Take a sip of coffee. Thank you for watching. I know I have people from all over the world watching these videos, which is amazing. Different time of day for everybody right now. I'm glad you like watching. That's perfect. Okay. I'm just going to blend this a little more. So it's not so like circular. It's just this nice warm orb. Oh yes. Yes. All right. Let's go in now with color, with the flowers, the jewels and stars of the show. And you really learn your motion and rhythm with a knife the more you use it. It takes practice. It takes time. Give yourself patience. Allow yourself time with it. It's like playing guitar. The first time you strum a chord, it's probably not going to sound great. We expect so much of ourselves quicker than is necessary sometimes. I'm just going to let my cat inside. Hold on. Hey, Ellie, you coming in? Come on. I have two cats, and that one wanted to come inside. Sometimes I hold my knife so loosely, I drop it off the ground. And I like the messiness of working quickly. It creates looseness. And then the extra paint on my knife, I touch, touch, touch. Give myself impressionistic flowers. I'm going to drop in this stem. Okay, so what happened? What just happened? So these are like identical, shaped the same way, same height, blah, blah, blah. So I don't like that. I'm going to change it. I'm going to make this one, I'm going to change the shape. At least. Okay, that helped a little bit. And then to anchor it and kind of pull your eye kind of somewhere else, I'm going to just do maybe one kind of close by, smaller. I don't like things super symmetrical because nature is imperfect. The imperfections of nature is really beautiful. And I want to accomplish the imperfections, the beautiful imperfections of nature in my work. And just for fun, I'm just gonna actually make these go all the way around. Oh, actually that's good. Just like that. Boop, boop, boop. Now I'll give them centers. Give this one some highlights. Hi, Ellie. Hello. Okay. You can do some fun things with different tools. This is just my painting rag. And just put in different textures, different places. Okay, I'm going to put a big one like right here. We'll do one there, we'll do one down here. And a little one here. This is the next species of flowers I'm going to do. All still done with the knife. This is where I can get quiet and more focused on what I'm, take a little more concentration than the grass and the sky. And I gotta reload my orange. Got a couple different oranges here. So let's do that. Got quite the audience today. This is fun. Maybe tell me how you found me. Is it just here on Facebook? Where did you first hear about my work? And I'm gonna move that over there. Oh boy, making a mess, making a mess. So I'd love to hear what it is that you like. What brings you back? If you watched my videos before, what is it that you enjoy about watching the videos? I think I'm a little bit allergic to my paint. It always makes me have an itchy nose and sneeze. But yeah, I'd love to know what brings you back each time. Do you watch to learn? Are you a painter? Do you watch just for calm and relaxation, entertainment? Is this your first time? Have you watched before? Things like that. That's kind of fun info for me to collect. Okay. So while I already have a color on my knife, it's kind of fun to expedite a little bit when I've got more than one flower to do, and I just keep working with those colors that are already on my knife. I'm going to raise the easel ledge just a little bit. So I've got this crank back here, kind of loud. But rather than bending down, I can do that. Oop, I just got a bunch of paint on my water glass. Okay. Okay. Who's ever popped their brush accidentally into their drinking glass? I've done that. These days I work with a knife, so not tons of brush work, depending on the piece. So now I'm going to put the petals on these white daisy-inspired flowers. And because it's all wet still underneath, some of that color is getting dragged into the petals, which I welcome that. I welcome the messiness of that. And the nice thing with acrylics is if you're like, not a fan of what I just did, you can literally paint over it. Nice to get after it once it's wet still. If it's still wet, you can easily, when it's dry. Oop, I went off there for a bit. We're back. Okay. Connection can be tricky at times when I'm live on an acreage here in the country, so. Okay, and that excess paint, maybe we do, so there was this little boy, and his mom sent me this video of him looking at the painting that they had just hung in their house, and he was pointing to these and said, "Mom, look at the blowies, the blowies." And so ever since he said that, I always think of him, and I think that's so cute. The blowies, he called them. And you know, if I don't love this little green color that's popping in, maybe I change it to white. We do a little white highlight on them. But there we go. We got some blowies. Okay, this is just paper towel. It's good to have nearby. I'm gonna move my water glass so I. Oh, and my cat, look, my Ellie cat is right here. Can you see her? Hey, Ellie, you're right in the way. Okay, sure. Plop down right there, why don't you? So just like that, I was able to, there was one blade of grass that was bothering me up there, so I just changed it. Now this one's got these. Pretty soon I'm going to reload again, but hi, Ellie. Hi. Ellie is my cat's name. That's what I'm talking to. He likes to sit at my feet while I'm painting. And then I take that excess paint, we pop it in different spots, just like this. Ellie, are you watching me? My cat doesn't like, that other cat doesn't like to be picked up. She likes to come and rub my leg, but she doesn't like to be picked up. Okay. Just observing what I should do next. We'll do this deep, rich kind of, it's called quinacridone red. Can you see my cat down there? All right, hey. Hey. Quinacridone red. Super thick. That's the base of it. And I'll do another one over here, but I'm going to do a different shape. This time I'm going to do this shape. And I'll have to reload that color pretty soon. So the night of the event, when I was painting, and they were auctioning my painting, right before I started painting, I met one of these people who walked in. She looked beautiful, and I commented on how beautiful her dress was, and we got talking fashion. Turns out, like 20 minutes later, she's the keynote speaker for the event, and she was wearing this bright pink, beautiful dress. And the entire night was about her speech and how she came through this amazing experience, crazy experience. And I told her at the end, I said, this painting looks exactly like you and your story. And it was just amazing how it was a very spontaneous night that way, where the art really complemented this beautiful lady sharing her incredible story. So I love it when stuff like that happens, because it just makes it that much more authentic and real. And I always come with a plan, and I did. I came with the plan of what I was going to paint that night. But then really, I just kind of have to trust the process, trust that the painting's going to speak to people and be effective in raising money and pairing it to what's going on in the night. And it was just, I'm so grateful. So I'm talking about the painting that sold for $32,000 at the last live painting auction that I did for a fundraising event. And now my paintings have officially raised over $1 million for charity. It's been a goal we set a number of years ago to help out in the community, and I'm just so grateful and surprised that it finally happened. Okay, this one's gonna go way over here, maybe kind of this spot. Well, I've got that color on my knife. I'm gonna raise it up. I like to kind of work eye level-ish or a bit lower, so I'm not bending my neck and my back too much, straining my neck and my back. And as usual, boop, 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 touch, 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 adding these impressionistic shapes. Let's drop in some stems. Let's got one there, there, there. Some of them are covered up, but it's nice to get some grounding of some stems. Okay, and I just needed to load some more white. So I appreciate everybody who's watching. Please share where you're watching from. Please follow my page, comment, like, share, all the things. This helps us artists with our creative presence online. It's all super appreciated. Someone said to me, "May the algorithm be forever in your favor." I laughed so hard. I was like, yeah, that's helpful. But really, I truly appreciate you watching and taking the time to join me in my live videos. They can be lengthy, I know. Most of my videos are just the reels that are 1-minute highlights of a painting being created, but this is the invitation to watch the full painting be made, not as a teaching instructional video, but just watching and enjoying the process. So we're getting there, I'm not even gonna say how much more we have to do, but we still have a little ways to go. So you can pop in and out of my video. Stick around as long or as little as you want. I'm going to do some more of these climbing ones, sort of like lavender inspired. It just adds a little zhuzh, little pizzazz. Changing the textures a little bit just for fun. Okay, I like that. Back to my knife. Back to my knife. Give some centers to these babies. once I'm done, I'm going to kind of pan over the painting with my camera and give you a bit of a closer view. A little bit. And it was a busy weekend. I was also that same weekend that I did the charity event, I painted at a wedding. I posted a little reel of it. Beautiful, beautiful wedding. For some clients of mine, he bought the painting for his daughter getting married. This is the second wedding I've done for this guy, and very grateful for that. So when I painted a wedding, I traveled to do that as well. This one was here in Edmonton. And I don't paint the scene of the wedding. I paint a wildflower scene or a mountain scene or a fort. Like I do my version, my paintings, and then I make it symbolic for the couple getting married. And it's, symbolism is in the painting rather than, the couple being painted. Although sometimes I could add like, walking through the forest. We got one there, and I'm going to do it that high? Be bold and put one way up there. Pull in a stem for it. I'm going to just change this a bit. Okay. I want to step on my kitty. Got one in this spot right here. If you have questions, if you're just tuning in now, pop them in the comments and I will go back and answer them after we've gone offline. I'm going to step on your tail, little Ellie. I want to step on you. So when I grab paint, there's a lot there. Okay. Well, I've got all this white. I'm going to do a saffron-ish kind of inspired flower, similar to what I did that night. And just going to get the color right. I mix a bit on the palette and a bit on painting. So Nothing's perfect. I'm gonna put it, I don't like that one there. So I'm gonna do it like right here. It's gonna be kind of kissing this one. Yes, heavy bodied paint is correct. That is what I'm using. Makes all the difference if you want thick textured paintings. Okay. What else shall we do? What else shall we do? Just adding some fun lining lines. We all want to touch the sky. Actually, recently named a painting that, so I can't name that one this, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Just seeing what else to do. Okay, this kind of lost his like, whoop, this little spot there. And this needs a center. And so does this one. A little softer center. Maybe pop it a little green. And some yellow. Drop in some more stems for those new ones I just did there. I'm just using a sharp edge of my knife. And if something's feeling like, I don't know if I love that, for this one little spot here. This is kind of blending too much with this, so I'm just gonna go like that and put in a yellow flower right there. That's how you can, painting's all about kind of correcting as you go, right? Adjusting, correcting, changing, evolving. I'm going to do some yellow right here. And do some touches of yellow kind of throughout, because bringing in the sunshine. And that one's going to have a green, I don't know what that part of the flower is called, but the part that connects. The base. Oh boy, I've got some neck and shoulder pain, people. Not fun right now. So that night that I brought my $1 million goal over to $1 million, and the painting was like, we raised over $1 million. I was in so much pain that night. I was lifting weights a couple weeks ago, and I overdid it and lifted too much, and I created all this pain in my neck and my collarbone and stuff. So a little miracle happened that night. I popped a couple Advil and I went to work and prayed I'd be able to do it. Worked out. It was a very milestone of an evening, but goodness, I did not do it in not in pain. I was in so much pain. And it's hurting me again. So I've got to go back from massage and be a little nicer to myself. But it hurts right now. So I'm almost done this painting. And painting through, most of the time I don't notice it, but at certain points I'm like, oop, there it is. Painting is a good distraction from pain. Any kind of pain, to be honest. So yeah, it's been helpful for me. So we want to do a couple more of those yellow flowers. I have to still drop in some of the deep purple. So while I've got this here, I'm going to add that to my palette. So back to the painting. It's a 3 foot by 5 foot painting. This is the second painting I'm doing from the night that my paintings officially have raised over $1 million for charity. I set that goal back in 2014. And I had a painting that sold for $50,000 at the auction. So my husband said, let's try and raise $1 million. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds great and also very tiring, and it has been. So when I was filming that night, didn't really know that that was going to happen. It was off to the side a bit, so it was more about the interaction with the people than it was about the actual painting. So the reason I'm doing this one today is to give you, just to show you the process of that particular painting being made, but on Facebook Live, so you can see how I made it. So it's a sister piece, sister painting to the one I did that night. Deep, deep purples. Another one's going to go right in here. I got to raise this up some more. All my materials, I can post the link in my video after I'm done where you can buy all these materials. I will share the links. Particularly the knife, everybody wants to know about the knife, so I ship them worldwide. If you're interested in one, I will post the link there, but it is on my website, giselledenis.com, and if you scroll over to tools I use, you'll see my knife and my palette there. You can buy it directly online. Super easy. too late to drink my coffee, kind of. I don't like to drink coffee past noon, so quickly finish it up. Okay, just gonna give it a little more highlights on there. I was gonna do a couple more orange, yellow flowers, yeah. We'll put one over here. And do I want one up there? Sure. Painting's not about thinking, it's about feeling. Coming together. I'm gonna do some more of these white blowies. I like to call them blowies. Just about, we're getting close. In the centers of this. If you're curious about more of my work and you want to see other pieces that are available on my website, just I'll put the link in the video comments, but it's just giselledenis.com. I ship worldwide. I have a variety of pieces available there, usually around 200 for sale at all times, so you can check those out as well. This one's going to want a one sister stem over there. Put in some color here. We'll do maybe pink for that one. I really like these white flowers, so I think I'm going to do another one right here. And over here, right there, and maybe one here. Where? We'll just put these first. Let's see how it feels. Did I say that already? I did. The hardest part is starting. That's truly true. Truly true. Just doing little tiny adjustments to things. Put in a little darker centers there. Okay, now the bold move of, oh, right before I do that, I want to add one more of these to, that's going to be that. This is going to be right here. I'm going to add some bright orange. This is still the pink. One more of those. Sorry. My paint makes me sneeze. I think I'm a bit allergic to it. Okay, now I'm going to do some bright orange flowers. I'm going to put one right here. Kind of unexpected color. Love it. Another one down here. Kind of right here. Oh, I'm going to raise this up. Well, we had quite the audience today. This is awesome. I appreciate everybody who took the time to tune into my live video. I'm truly grateful for all of you who care enough to watch. Just about coming to a close for this painting. I feel it's like a song or a conversation. It's like I feel the ebbs and flows of the painting. And yeah, I meant to actually start at that color and then build the orange over top, but that's okay. It's kind of cool. And if you're like, oh, I did that backwards, you can go back in, do this. This is a good demonstration of oopsies. Do this first. And then build the other color on top. Which means I have to load more orange onto my knife. And then that one's overlapping in the spot that I didn't want. So we'll do a couple little adjustments, but we're nearly done. Let's reload that orange. Sometimes when I'm feeling like, okay, I gotta make a painting, I have to get this done. Sometimes doing a live actually motivates me because I do like having an audience and it makes me get after it. So I decided yesterday, I'm gonna do a live today about this, for this painting, this size, these colors, everything. I pre-planned it. It happened today. So it happened because I planned it. So I'm spontaneous, but also I do plan. I do plan things. Okay, so I'm just looking at what I need to do. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to come back in with the orange. With that and there. Yummy, yummy, yummy color. Look at that. I'm going to touch it kind of throughout a bit. Now I overlap that in a little spot that I don't like, so I'm going to fix that. This one's in front. Up in the centers again. Painting with gloves is nice because after a while the paint starts to feel irritating on your skin. So I like to paint. I don't like the feeling of gloves, but the feeling of paint is kind of worse. So on your skin for long periods of time. So yeah, please share with me what you like about my videos. What brings you back? It's nice to hear what people enjoy about them. So when I look and paint at a painting and stand back, I'm looking for, does it have good balance? Does it feel unified? Does it feel playful enough? Does it have the color in the right spots? That kind of stuff. So but yeah, I like what I've made. I'm gonna lower it a little bit just to make sure that I don't want anything else up in the sky. I might want that. That's about good for height. And little tiny adjustments of things. Maybe I bring in more grass. For the most part, guys, coming down to being finished. Just for fun, I just wanted to add a couple of those. Maybe we'll do a couple more over here. Maybe one here. Okay, I'm feeling like it's pretty much done. So it's not a duplicate, it's not an exact replica of what I've created the other day, but it's got some similar elements. It's a sister piece, sister painting. I don't know if it's dry enough to sign this corner yet. It's pretty dry. Let's give it a shot. So I'm going to come down here and sign the bottom right corner with my little signing brush, like that. We'll sign it in like this like light purple, pinky color. Here, I'll bring you down with me here. I'll take these yucky gloves off. I'll disconnect this phone from this spot. Okay. Let's flip this camera around. There's my cat. There's one of them. Hi, Ellie. Hello. Hi, Special. Hello. Okay, let's sign this painting. Let's do it, guys. Kind of like right here. I always tell people sign your paintings with the material that you painted it in. And it's good to sign the front. I also sign the back, so I write on the back the name of the painting, the year it was made, the title. In a legible way. People can read it. So once it's on someone's wall, people will know who painted it. So here's some close-up shot. Well, that's a fun angle, right? I'll show you some close-ups here. Let's go up into the painting for a minute. So you can see how thick I've gone with the paint. So those peaks that I lay down, it will dry just like that. That's heavy-bodied acrylics. But yeah, this is the painting. I'm calling it done. Ellie, what do you think? Oh, she likes it. She's relaxing right next to me. That's a good shot, right? This is my gallery. This is the sister painting that I was looking at the whole time when I was making this one. This one's called Hope is Everything. And that was the one I was looking at in my shot while I was creating. This is the gallery. So in my windows looking out, look at how beautiful the sky is on those yellow trees. This plant here, this is Russian sage, kind of gets inspired into a lot of paintings right outside my window. But this is fall in Edmonton, Alberta. Look how pretty it is out there. My messy desk. And this is all the space that I work in right now. But I quite like what I made. I'm happy with it. Calling it done. I don't have a name yet, but I'll think of one real quick and I will put it in the comments. So yeah, I'm gonna put the camera back on the tripod here. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure when I'll go live again, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a week, I don't know. But you can select your favorite pages for notifications. You can say, notify me when my favorite pages go live, so you can do that. But yeah, I appreciate all of you watching. If you have any comments or questions, pop it in the comments and I will answer them when I go offline here. Oh yeah, people always ask to see the palette. There's the messy palette. So I sell the palette knife as well. I'll remember to put that in the comments too. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.